Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
Hello again, it's me, Patriot Prepper 1776. Oh, I wanted to talk to you folks today about concealed carry, my method way. I'm going to do it where I work. Where I work, I am not allowed to have a handgun. I am not allowed to have a pocket knife. I'm not supposed to have any weapons at all at work. I have to go out and drive cars and deliver auto parts. And in doing so, sometimes I have to pick up large sums of cash money to bring back to the store with me. Or I have to take large sums of money from the store with me to a customer as change, or if they're doing a return. This is cash money, not a check, not a money order, cash money. Bills. Dollar bills, $100 bills, with me I have to carry. And I have to do this unarmed. Sometimes I am sent to, shall we say, rough areas of town in order to do this. And I know there's going to be people out there screaming, why don't you just get another job? Why don't you get a different job? Jobs are tight right now. I've been with this company for over a year now. I enjoy my job. I do not want to give my life for my job, as anybody would. Nobody I know wants to say, I'll take a bullet for my job. If they do, they got a screw loose upstairs. So my method of concealed carry when I'm at work, where I'm not allowed to be armed, is going to be a fanny pack. I got this idea. I watched Yankee Marshall. I'll put a link to his channel down below here, where he was talking about wearing a fanny pack when he goes to the gym and stuff like that. And I watched Nothing Fancy. I'll put a link down there below to him too. Well, Yankee Marshall had regular gun holster fanny packs, it looked like, that he wore. This one is just a cheap little one from Wally World, China Mart, whatever you want to call it. Cost me like 15 bucks. This is the main compartment on here. What I'm going to do is back in here on this side. Right there, I can see it back here. I'll get a piece of hard plastic, like a polystyrene plastic, something like that. I'll cut it to fit this shape. Then I'll take and probably glue it against the back there. Glue it against the back with some Velcro on there. Or might even sew Velcro onto the back of this, on the inside of the pack here. Let me see if I can turn this inside out. Sew it in here, sew the Velcro to that, and then glue the styrofoam to the polystyrene on both sides, and stick it in there, and it'll be like a little pad, like a stiff board. Then my holster I have, if I'm a holster, well, you guys see my holster. It's just a cheap little holster. I'm gonna put not styrofoam. I'm having a low book moment. Put Velcro on it and stick to the polystyrene Velcroed on there, and that'll hold it in place in here. This has more compartments. I replaced the toggles that was on there with paracord, just so I could have a bigger grip. I can get my hand in there and grab if I need to. And then in here I'll keep my ink pens and stuff I have to use at work. Maybe my phone, stuff like that. You got a little pocket here for other things. Another modification I'm going to do. I don't like this this buckle they have on here. It's a cheaply made belt buckle, as you can see. That's not gonna last any time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these straps cut off. These straps, and then I'm going to have them sewed so they form a loop like so on there, so I could thread my belt through it. I'm going to have two of them, two on each side, one out here and then one more towards the middle, and I'll thread my belt through this, my gun belt, which I wear. It's just a regular belt to hold my pants up. It's a good thick leather belt, and I'll thread my belt through there, and that'll hold the pack tight up against me, and I don't have to worry about somebody unbuckling it and taking off with my gun, or breaking the buckle and having to drag it around by hand at work or something like that. But that's going to be my method of concealed carry at work. Now, any other time I'm going to get another holster, and I will carry it inside my waistband under a shirt. And I know I have talked to a viewer about concealed carry and how I shouldn't be ashamed to carry a gun. I'm not ashamed. Far from it. Concealed carry for me is my way of being the so-called gray man. I don't want to attract attention to myself when I'm out in public. If my shirt pulls up and somebody sees it, that's one thing. But to walk around with it hanging out on my hip, that's something different. That's attracting attention. I don't want attention to being drawn to me. Whether it's good attention, somebody coming up saying, yeah, I appreciate your Second Amendment right or whatever, or somebody say freaking out because we live in a state of, I hate to say this, but pussies today. Pussies scared of their own shadow. Oh my God, a gun! You know, that's their right to be scared and panicked, but you know, it's my right to carry my gun. And I don't want to have to deal with the cops and explain to them how it's my Second Amendment right to carry this weapon on me in any manner I see fit, as long as it is safe. Most cops would approve of it, but you got the 1 in a million out there, or 1 in 100, or whatever you want, that's going to be a dickhead and be nasty about it and threaten to take you to jail and everything else and cause all kinds of hassles. I don't need to hassle. If I have to use my weapon, God forbid, I can get it out quick enough to deal with whatever I have to. I'm not saying I will never open carry. I plan on finding a job as a security officer. Yes, rent-a-cop, as some people want to call it. I've done this in the past. I will open carry then. When I'm going to work in my uniform and coming home, I will open carry then. But that's how I'm going to carry. I figure gun packs, the concealed carry fanny packs, look too much like a... You can tell what they are. You can really tell, like Nothing Fancy was saying, if it's leather, it's more likely a gun. There's a gun in there. If it's all square and boxy looking and everything, 'cause I've seen them, they look like you're wearing a shoebox on your hip. There's probably a gun in there. Or if it's got great big wings on the side. This has wings, but Not like these ones you see that got like zippers on them and everything. It's more likely a gun in there. This one's got a name on it, like Nothing Fancy said. It's going to more or less fly under the radar. People are like, oh yeah, well, whatever. He's got a fanny pack. Woo. Ha ha ha. Big joke. Whatever. But like I said, I'll put a link down below there somewhere to Nothing Fancy and to Yankee Marshall. And that's all there is for this video. Like I said, folks, remember, there we are. Don't tread on me, and I won't tread on you. Yeah, have a good day.
Bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the